The 1994 Nigerian football team has been described by many as the best in the nation's history. A team that boasted the likes of Yekini, Amunike, Amokachi, and JJ Okacha, the Super Eagles of 1994 made history by qualifying Nigeria to its first ever FIFA World Cup. In that same year, the Super Eagles were crowned champions of Africa for the second time in history, defeating Zambia 2-1 in the final in Tunisia. The team also made history by reaching number 5 on the FIFA team ranking table, the highest ever by any African side. While many consider the success of that era as the launch pad that introduced Nigerian football to the world, very few know of sacrifices and failures that finally put Nigeria at the center stage of world football. After becoming champions of Africa for the first time in 1980, there was pressure on the Green Eagles to make their first appearance at the FIFA Men's World Cup. 3 years earlier in 1977, the team had flunked an opportunity to qualify for the FIFA World Cup for the first time when an own goal by Godwin Adiye contributed to a 0-1 loss at the National Stadium in Surulere, Lagos. This cost the Green Eagles a place at 1978 World Cup in Argentina. In 1990, the Super Eagles came close to making their World Cup dreams a reality, but a loss to Cameroon meant that dream had to wait an extra 4 years. Sadly, there was bad news on the pitch as well. Samuel Okwaraji, a gifted Super Eagles midfielder, died of a heart attack while Nigeria played Angola in one of the qualification games at National Stadium in Lagos. In late 1989, after Nigeria failed to qualify for the 1990 World Cup, the Nigerian Football Association hired a certain Dutchman, Clemens Westerhoff, to coach his national team. Westerhoff's first task was to rebuild the team. His effect was immediate, as Nigeria reached the final of the 1990 African Cup of Nations, where they lost 1-0 to the host nation, Algeria. In 1992, Nigeria began its quest to qualify for its first ever FIFA World Cup, which would be held in the United States 2 years later. Placed in a group with South Africa and Congo, Nigeria finished top of its group in the first round, winning 3 games and drawing 1, and did not concede a single goal in all 4 games. Despite the caliber and ability of the players at that time, the team still had to prove itself before it could qualify for a global football competition, and to do so, it had to contest with the then African champions, Ivory Coast, and 1990 African champions, Algeria, in a 3-way group called the Group of Death. Although Algeria was already eliminated, they made it difficult for Nigeria and took the game seriously. Finidi George had fired Nigeria into a 1-0 lead in the 20th minute before Tasfaout eclipsed for Algeria in the 66th minute to set up a nail-biting and edge-of-the-seat finish to a crucial game. In the end, Nigeria scaled through and made history by making it to a FIFA World Cup competition for the first time in history. Nigeria entered the 1994 World Cup in Group D with Argentina, Bulgaria, and Greece. Despite losing 2-1 to Argentina, wins over Bulgaria and Greece allowed the Super Eagles to do the unthinkable and finish top of the group, advancing to the second round. The second round would be where the adventure would end though. Despite leading and having a one-man advantage against Italy in the second round, they lost 2-1. For an African side that came to the World Cup for the first time, reaching the second round was considered an achievement in its own. But because the Super Eagles had so many high standards, many fans at home in Nigeria didn't see their achievement as much of a success at the time. But history would judge the 1994 Nigerian national team well, as the team would forever be seen as a team that helped introduce Nigerian football to the world stage.